The railroad tracks divided the town by race. I was the proud daughter of Indian immigrants.
Okay. What should I do with this? So the railroad tracks divided the town by race. So whose story is she speaking to? At the very beginning, this is supposed to be the Republican. One of the Republicans running for the nomination for president of the United States. Elaine Sabatino is here. Great to see you, sister. Jason 2024. Archangel, already bored of this, says yawn. Super cringe, says testosterone. Yeah. And the community was divided by the railroad track. What's that story? That's right out of the anti-white narrative. And this is the Republican, right out of the anti-white narrative. When they talk about the railroad tracks dividing the town, what are they saying? They're saying the white race is on the good side and the non-white races are on the bad side. What's the bad side? The prevailing winds blowing the smell of it. Sometimes it has to deal with the sound, right? So she's all ready to, right at the very beginning, this rhino voter orgasmic hysterical nonsense is right away. Anti-whiteism is real. It's legitimate. It's that white people are evil. White people are cruel. White people are wicked. They designed the town so that never mind that all of those houses used to be owned by white people, but never mind. They actually put the people over there. They had their plan from the very beginning. They had the plan from the very beginning that it was going to be non-white people on that side and white people on the other from the very beginning, even though it was entirely white neighborhoods on that side as well before non-white people moved in. And then you had a couple of things that happened when non-white people move into an area. One of the things is they enclave. They move in together because that's natural. Because it's normal. They're like, wait, where do you want to live? Well, there's where a bunch of our people are. Like if I moved to China, I would be like, well, where are the white people? Oh, over there. I'm going to get an apartment over there. Okay? So that's how non-white areas get started. Always blaming white people. Oh, it's redlining. That's what they tell you all the time in real estate. It's redlining. They would move right away. If anybody ever in real estate approached a homeowner and said, you better sell because non-white people moved in, that had nothing to do with white people and white people looking out for white people, or that was a unscrupulous, self-centered, rabid individualist who was trying to force white people out of their homes so that he or she could make a buck off of it. Do you understand? Who is the victim there? Not the non-white family that moved in. But the white people who were terrorized by self-centered, egocentric, rabid, individualistic real estate agents who went to them and said, oh, it's all going to go bad. You better sell now and give me the listing. Those are the people who suffered. But when you look at the anti-white narrative, oh no, it's the non-white people who were suffering, always at the hands of white people, making the non-white people suffer. So she starts off, look at the lovely family picture. I'm thinking Kansas. I'm thinking Ireland. I'm thinking Scotland. I'm thinking we want all good people to be able, when good people we want in the country, that we want them to have good lives. I want them to have happy lives. I want them to have that. The president elected, working in government, no. You should have to be here for like 10 generations before you can work in the government. Give me a break. Especially president. All right, so let's proceed. So she's already validating the anti-white narrative.
Not black, not white. I was different.
Oh, she's not black or white. And that's how she's been opening her speeches, by the way. I understand. Check it out for yourself. She's been saying, I'm not black, not white. I'm brown. Okay, good. Good for you. Thanks for throwing that in our face. But the rhino voters, yay.
But my mom would always say your job is not to focus on the differences, but the similarities. And my parents remind.
Okay, so the mother had sense. Get along with people. You're in a country that's not ours. Get along with the people here. Focus on the similarities. So the mother had sense.
Did me and my siblings every day how blessed we were to live in America.
Oh my God.
Some look at our past as
that.
evidence that America's founding principles are bad.
Oh, I got to stop there for a second. God damn it. It's like a sentence can't go by. So here she starts off with the rhino establishment Republican endless. I worked all the way back 2001 on the Hill. This was the take then. America is great. Gosh darn it. Do you know why they say that? Do you know why? Because Republicans are hit even though Republicans are anti-white, like this Nimrata, she's anti-white. She is anti-white. But they're hit all the time with the you are a anti-white slur, like racist, bigot, etc. And so since they're hit with that all the time and they're inside the anti-white narrative, they accept that that's reality. Their pushback has been since, oh my God, Reagan, Carter, their pushback has been, America is great. America is wonderful. We've got problems, sure. Accepting these accusations of anti-whites that America is, and then these words, racist, bigot, etc. And so then that's where she's saying here, she's going right to the, oh, well, some say America's founding is racist. So this is, they accept the anti-white narrative. You cannot win when you accept your victimizer's narrative. Period. End of conversation.
Some look at our past as evidence that America's founding principles are bad.
This is she should be a first grade teacher. No one should vote for her for president. What kind of country has a population that would vote for that? This is a first grade teacher talking to first graders.
Say the promise of freedom is just made up.
The promise of freedom is made up. That's a non sequitur. If she's saying the accusation is, she just showed a sign on the screen that said racist, then 1619 Project, and then she says the promise of freedom is made up. No. So she's not actually pushing back. She's actually concurring. But she says there's a promise of freedom. You're just not getting there.
Some think our ideas are not just wrong, but racist and evil.
There you have it, racist and evil.
Nothing could be further from the truth.
Okay, so she's accepted that the victimizer's moral imperative. She's accepted the victimizer's premises. And she has now denied that, and by accepting, by the way, let me point out, that she agrees with. She agrees that there is such a thing called racism, and that is something white people do to non-white people. She agrees that these things exist. She's just accepted it. Now she's pushing back by saying there's a promise of freedom.
I have seen evil. Some think our ideas are not just wrong, but racist and evil. Nothing could be further from the truth.
Okay, so the rest of that sentence, if she were to write it out, nothing could be further from the truth, is to say, nothing could be further from the truth, semicolon, we are not racist. Period. You lose. End of conversation. You just lost. You are never going to have a pushback against anti-whiteism if you accept the anti-white narrative and you accept its moral imperative. It's anti-white moral imperative.
I have seen evil. In China, they commit...
Okay. God. Why does this have to be this lame? So this is the Yes, we as Americans are racist. Yes, the system is evil, but there are worse systems out there. Who gives a shit? Who absolutely gives a shit? I'm not measuring myself by the fucking Congo. I'm not measuring my. Where's the metric? Where is the metric? Listen, Nimrata, listen. Where is the metric out there in the world that says we have to measure ourselves by how they behave in the Congo? If we're one jot above how they do things in the Congo, then we're fine. Then we're fine. No, I don't want one jot better than the fucking Congo. That argument can go all the way to the Congo. It can literally go from where we are today. This is the first generation that is bequeathing, really the baby boomers, bequeathing a country to the succeeding generations that is worse. Every other generation in America prior to that, the country was getting better and stronger and safer in many ways. This is the first time it's going downhill. And you're going to come to me, your like big argument is going to be, well, we're better than China murdering people or genociding people. I don't want that. I want anti-whiteism utterly destroyed. I want everybody who agrees with anti-whiteism put under deep suspicion. I want anti-whites fired from their jobs. I want anti-whites that have harmed people with anti-whiteism to be tried for that. If they have harmed people, and it is the same sort of thing that we could say that any other ideology could do to a people and be tried for, I want them tried. I want them to go to jail. I don't want I don't want a lady. I don't want some Nimrata, nay, Randawa. I don't want Nimrata, nay, Randawa saying to me, well, we're better than the Congo.